Okay, I've got 7:05, so let's call the meeting to order. Welcome to the monthly meeting of NPU-F. Looks like we have definitely achieved a quorum at this point. Today is October 15th. It's about 7:05. My name is Tom Schwab. I'm the vice chair of NPU-F and also the alcohol licensing chair. I will be your meeting host this evening. I'd like to thank Kay Stevenson as well for being our co-host this evening. Of course, Debbie Shopchinsky is our chair, and Debbie normally runs these meetings, does an excellent job, but I will do my best to fill in her absence. Catherine King is our secretary. She will be taking minutes, and as a reminder, we are recording this meeting as well. Our public safety co-chairs are Kay Stevenson and Susan Canellos. Wiley Somerville is our zoning chair. Rich Sussman handles parks, trees, and the environment. Marla Johnson is our communications chair, Jason Holmes, education chair, and Katie DeWeeves is our Atlanta Planning Advisory Board rep. And of course, Doug Young is our City of Atlanta planner. So that's who we are. Compared to last month, I think tonight's meeting will be relatively short. I've got a pretty efficient agenda. I want to thank everyone who stayed with us to the end of last month's meeting. I promise we will not repeat that late hour again. A couple of the meeting logistics. As most of you know, we have two agendas for the NPU. We have the full agenda. That's the one that has the phone numbers listed at the top. And then we also have the consent agenda. The consent agenda is a subset of the full agenda. These are usually matters that are a little more simple. We usually handle those with a single vote. We bundle everything together, and we do not have a discussion on those. So I have posted both of those agendas in the chat. If you're here for an application and I'm done with the consent agenda, don't worry if we haven't got you. We're going to cover you when we get to the full agenda. All right. We will be voting on several issues tonight. As a reminder, all residents of NPUF can vote unless you have a financial interest in a particular application, but you can still vote on other applications. If you're not an NPU resident, but you own a business here, you may vote if you've met the requirements as described in our bylaws, and those are at the bottom of the link to the agenda. Let's see. Please refrain from voting if you don't live or own property or business within NPUF. When we vote, we're going to use the raise your hand feature for voting. I'll talk about that more in just a minute. We also use Robert's Rules of Order as our parliamentary guide, but we do take a somewhat relaxed view. So for some routine manners, I'll simply ask if there's any objections or for unanimous consent, and we'll pass things in that manner. But when I do need to do things a little bit more formally and I ask for a motion, I'll recognize the first two people who speak up, the person that makes the motion and the person that seconds the motion. In those instances, you do not need to raise your virtual hand to speak. But in every other instance in the meeting, we're going to ask you to raise your virtual hand if you have a question or comment or you wish to speak, and then we'll call on you in the order. Raise your hand. Again, real quick refresher on Zoom. By now, hopefully everyone is getting pretty good at this, but we have a participant list that shows everyone that's here in the meeting. Your name will appear on the top of that list. We would ask if there's more than one person using the same device. We want to have both your names written in that participant list so we know there's two people there. That's important so we can count both of your votes. If you need to change your name over in the participant list, you'll see the word more next to your name. Click that, and that will give you the option to rename yourself. Likewise, if somebody else's name is in your window, please correct that. And if you're logged in on two different devices, we'd ask you to log out on one or take your name off it at least, because if we see duplicate names, we won't count those votes. All righty. The mute button, probably the most forgotten feature in Zoom. I'm guilty of that myself. Looks like a little microphone at bottom left. We remind you, please stay muted unless you're actively speaking. I mentioned that raise your hand feature. We're going to use that again for all voting and anytime you have a question or comment. You'll find that under the reaction tab. So it might be reaction or it might call react at the bottom of your screen. Open that up and you should see the icon for raise your hand. It looks like a palm like this, an icon. Please get the right icon. Sometimes people use the clappy hands or the thumbs up. If you do that, they'll go away after a couple of seconds and your vote won't count or you'll lose your place in the question queue. Again, that's under the React tab. Um, like I mentioned, I'll call on speakers in the order with which you raise your hand. We would ask to keep your camera on. I see a lot of people don't have it on. That's fine. But if you're speaking or presenting, especially if you're here for an application, we need to have you turn your camera on so we know that you're the right person representing an application while we're discussing that application. Otherwise, you can turn it off if you're more comfortable with that. If you phoned in on a telephone and you're not on a, device with a screen on it and you want to raise your hand, you need to press *9 on your phone. That will raise your virtual hand on my screen so I'll know to call on you when it's your turn in the queue. Likewise, if you're calling in on the phone, you need to unmute your Zoom call through *6 to unmute. That's in addition to the mute feature that may be on your phone. The last feature of Zoom I'll talk about is the chat. That's a great place to send messages. You can do it to everybody or just to one individual. And as I mentioned, I posted all the agendas and the meeting minutes for last month in the chat already. You can see a lot of people have shared their contact information. That's a great place to do that. And lastly, if you want to save the chat at the end of the meeting, you'll see three little dots in the upper chat window. You click that, it'll give you the option to save. But as a reminder, it will save the chat text, but not presentations. So you might want to save the presentations directly. Okay, a couple meeting protocols. Please try to keep your questions and comments germane to the topic at hand. If you have a random thought, you can write it down in the chat and somebody will try to circle back around and answer it that way, or we'll pull it back into discussion. If you have a new item that's not on the agenda, you can bring that up under new business. We ask everyone to be respectful. We're all neighbors here. Sometimes some of these topics can get passionate, and that can morph itself into less than professional or snarky comments. We don't want to have any of that. Let's treat everybody with respect, and I will endeavor to do the same. But we do need to be efficient. As I mentioned, last month's meeting was quite long. So we are going to ask you to speak only once on a topic, and we're going to limit you to 2 minutes each. And admittedly, I've been a little lax on that because it's very difficult to try to cut somebody off. But we're really going to try to get better at adhering to that. So please don't be offended if I'm a little more diligent and I suggest that we take a topic offline and handle it in that manner if it seems like we're going down a rat hole. All right. Please keep your thoughts succinct and to the point. And lastly, if there's some background noise or somebody's interrupting quite a bit or hogging the floor, we may be forced to mute your line in that case. But we do want to hear from you. We want you to speak up. That's the purpose of the NPU. So whether you're for an application or opposed to it, please raise your hand and state your opinion. That's what we're here for. So don't be shy. But as I said, please try to be brief. As a reminder, all the comments that you make in the chat are also sent to the city. And if I am moving too quickly, feel free to raise your hand and I can stop, slow down, repeat something, or explain where we are or why we're handling something in that manner. Okay. And lastly, just a reminder that your vote at the NPU does count. But these are only recommendations. The final decisions of everything we vote on is made by either city boards or city administrators or city council. And I encourage you to not only express your views here, but do it directly in front of those other bodies as well. Whether you do that in writing or an email or a phone call, or you attend a public hearing and make a comment there. It's important to get your voice out there. Don't be discouraged. Sometimes the city doesn't vote in the same manner or same direction that the NPU does. But it's important to give notice that we are paying attention. And if you feel there's particular in city folks that repeatedly aren't listening to the voices of the community, we got elections coming up next month. Yeah, that's a great opportunity to make your voice heard. Another great way to have your voice heard is by joining the NPU. We also have our elections coming up at the next month's meeting. I'll talk about more of that in a few minutes. Okay, that's my preamble. In the interest of expediency, I shortened it a bit. Okay, so let's get on to the good stuff. Our first order of business is to adopt the agenda. As I mentioned, both agendas are posted in the chat and they've also been posted to the NPU website. Does anyone have any additions to tonight's agenda? If you do, please raise your hand. All right, I'm not seeing any. So are there any objections to adopting tonight's agenda? If you do have an objection to tonight's agenda, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, the agenda is adopted without objection. All right, the second order of business on that agenda is the approval of last month's minutes. So again, they're posted in the chat and they're on our website. Special thanks to Catherine King for documenting the minutes for us. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Oh, second.
Thank you, Kay. Was that Rich with a second? Thank you, Rich. All righty. Are there any objections to adopting the minutes? All right, seeing none, the motion carries without objection. All right, moving on to agenda item number 3. We have a few announcements to share. First of all, a reminder that campaigning at the NPU meeting is strictly prohibited by the city code. So you guys all know what that means. If you're an elected official or you're running for office, please refrain from announcing your candidacy. You can't display any banners, buttons, anything like that, or hand out any literature, things like that. A couple other things going on. We have a MasterCard Fun Run. That's going to be October 25th. This one starts at Ponce City Market and runs down the East Side Beltline. If you want more information on that, you can contact Conrad, I believe it's pronounced Rybaca. Also, this month is known as Biketober. The city has issued a challenge to get more people out there riding bikes. So you can log in. I believe this website was put out by the Midtown Alliance, and I'm putting that link to that in the chat as well. So you can check that out. It's got a lot of great information about group bike rides, things like that. Also, there's going to be prizes you can win by logging points in that you log your rides in that you take to work, and you can win points and prizes and things like that. So great way to get out there in our community and get healthy. Along the lines of Biketober, Virginia Highland Bike Lane is now open. That's on Virginia Avenue. It runs from, I guess it's Ponce Place down to Monroe, connects the Virginia Highland Elementary School to the high school. So feel free to check that out. It's a 1-year pilot, and a special thanks to all the volunteers that made that happen. October is also National Code Enforcement Month. This week is the Officer Appreciation Week within that month. So I want to thank Officer Williams and all the other officers from code enforcement that work diligently to keep our city safe and clean and orderly. So thank you very much for your service. My last announcement, again, I mentioned the NPU elections. So we're going to conduct our elections at the very next NPU general meeting, and that is going to be November 19th. Again, these are 1-year terms that run from January to December of 2026. And I believe there are several positions that will be open. So, at the NPU, we really do need some new blood, some new energy. It's a real easy process to run for office. You don't need to campaign or anything like that. And quite frankly, some of the positions will probably be running unopposed. So it's a great way to contribute to the neighborhood. Please consider running, or you have any civic-minded friends that aren't in the meeting tonight. Please let them know that we need some new folks. And feel free to reach out to myself or any of the NPU existing committee chairs or officers, and we can tell you more about the opportunities that are there. Okay, that's it for my announcements. Let's move on to reports from the city departments. Oh, we usually start with the fire department. So anyone from Station 19 or 29 with us?
This is Chief Contreras. I'm the battalion chief of the 3rd Battalion. which is all of your Midtown and downtown and Virginia Highlands and all the fun places to be.
Welcome, welcome. What would you like to share with us tonight?
Thank you very much. Just a reminder, you got the temperature starting to drop, and this morning it was a little bit chilly when I walked out of my house at 4:30 this morning before I came to work, and then it quickly warmed up. However, with that being said, that home heating safety, just always, make sure that I know a lot of us use space heaters in different areas and making sure that we keep flammables away from those and make sure that they are ones that have automatic shut off features in them. So if they do happen to get knocked over, they will not continue to run. And also make sure that you plug those directly into the wall and don't use extension cords with them that can overheat your extension cords. They do draw a lot of power. Halloween's upon us in a couple of weeks, and just watch out for all those kiddos that are going to be out walking around in their costumes. And it's always a little sketchy time in the evenings when the sun's starting to dip down and everybody's driving home from work at the same time. And just to be mindful of that and be safe out there and have fun. That's about all from the fire department tonight. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, Rich.
Uh, Battalion Chief, do you know what the timeline is for the new Station 29 on Piedmont Road?
That I don't have a timeline for that now. I know that they're going to be putting in a roundabout in that area, and I'm not entirely sure they've identified where we're going to put those folks at the current time.
All right, thank you. How about Catherine King? Do you have a question?
I was wondering if you could talk about the article that I read recently. It said we only had 3 firefighters per truck, though the national average is 4. And also, could you tell us how many fires we have here monthly in Virginia Highland?
I don't have that number in front of me right now. I could certainly research it and get it to you. But yeah, there's a national debate about how many people that we need on the fire trucks. And certainly the more is better. We've also got to balance that with how much personnel costs are and the uh, the services that we do provide to the city. And so there's a big debate right now between administration and some of the union members and that sort of stuff. And so I think I need to leave it at that tonight.
Thank
Def-
you.
Yes.
Definitely a job that AI really can't do. All right, very good. Any other questions for the battalion chief? All right, I'm
Thank you,
not
sir.
seeing
Have
any.
a
Well,
great night.
thank you very much for being here. Okay, moving on. How about the APD? Anyone from Zone 2 or Zone 6?
Yes, Lieutenant Carroll was Zone 6. How are y'all today?
Great, Lieutenant. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So on this current 30-day period that runs that's running from September 15th through October 15th, we're seeing a decrease in theft from autos. We got 28. We got that's as opposed to 35 for the previous 30 days, so we're down. So I think it's because temperatures are changing and we're going to see them go down even further. We currently have 12 motor vehicle thefts. We got 3 burglaries, 2 robberies. On the previous 30 days, like I said, we're down on theft from motor vehicles. We had 35. We had 9 motor vehicle thefts and we had 2 robberies and 1 burglary. So we are looking better this month. We're up on motor vehicle thefts. I'm sorry. Does anybody have any Kias or Hyundais? Because I got plenty of steering wheel clubs I'd like to give out.
Is the city has a program where you free issue clubs?
Yes, sir. I have cases of them in the downstairs of the precinct. If anybody would like one, please come by and I'll be glad to give you one.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Kay, do you have a question?
Yeah, Lieutenant Carroll, you may not know the answer to this, but we had another theft from landscape folks today in the Atkins Park neighborhood of Virginia Island, and I was told that apparently one of the landscape people had an image, a video of the license plate. I heard that those people were were caught. Do you know if that's true that they were actually caught already?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I can find out though.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if they were, congratulations and thank you for being so quick on that, because I know those are kind of crimes of opportunity, and it's tough to do much about it if you haven't got any detail to go on. So I'm hoping that's true, and it will. We have had at least one landscaper in this NPU that has notified all of his customers he's no longer going to service them because he has been ripped off like 3 times. So I'm hoping we've got some good news on that front.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Kay. Kevin Cronin, did you have a question for Lieutenant Carey?
Yes. Do we have any leads on the incident that happened today at Barbacoa?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that, sir.
And just to let everybody know, there, and Kay, certainly you can cut me off, but there was a large window that was broken this morning at 6 a.m. And they stole the cash drawer, which of course had nothing in it, but no liquor.
Yeah,
saved
they
that
were
for
not they were not very clever thieves because they
yeah,
could have taken some high-end tequila and done pretty well with that. But
yeah.
anyway.
You would have taught me better.
All right. Well, Catherine, do you have a question?
Another question. Would you happen to have any information on the 2 women that were hit in the crosswalk here by Murphy's about a week ago?
No, ma'am. I can look into that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to jump in on that one again, Lieutenant, if you don't mind. We did reach out to the major and ask for some enforcement at that intersection, and she agreed to do that. So we're hoping that we can educate folks. Those crosswalks from Murphy's over to the bank and from Murphy's across the street to La Tavola are very, very active. And we have folks coming home from work or going to work that drive pretty fast around that corner and headed up Virginia. So they're going to try and do a little enforcement to educate folks through some citations, hopefully. So they'll be a little more aware and a little more cautious at that intersection.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Kay. So Kevin, did you have another question, or is that your hand up from before?
I thought about one thing, I think that's been effective is those little orange flags that they have by the other side going towards the fire station, as well as they have across the YWCA. And maybe we could look at putting some of those there. So at least it's something flashing as you walk across and could help, okay, maybe in slowing some people down.
Yeah, that was actually done by some residents, but I think it's a very inexpensive way to get attention. So we could definitely look at doing that at that intersection as well. We could talk about that offline, Kevin.
Great.
Great. And June, is it Newmark? June, you're muted. Oh, there you go.
Okay, I think I'm okay now. So I would like, I realize that the gentleman is from Zone 6, but I also know that Cheshire Bridge is in 2 zones, and I want to bring up the topic of the noise issue from 3 places of business which occur on, the noise comes from these businesses which are close to between Faulkner and Alco. And I do know that this is very disturbing to people who live nearby. It appears that the restaurants, or if they are restaurants or clubs, that they don't obey the law about closing at a certain time. Then, of course, the other day there was the incident where the car was shot up, and then we know that it was connected. That incident was actually connected with 2 others that occurred within the same time frame. That I think was Sunday morning. So I do know there are issues on Cheshire Bridge, and I'm hoping we can uh, I can bring this to light and hear some things that are being done.
Hi,
Yes,
not to butt in. I'm Lieutenant Henderson from the Atlanta Police Zone 2. So I can let you know that we're working with license and permits. If you have the exact address for those incidents in Zone 2, I can be sure to send license and permits to that location to ensure that they're not in operation or operating after hours or, violation of any of the noise ordinance. I'll make sure that my email and phone number is listed in the chat at the end of this meeting.
Thank you.
No problem.
Great. Thank you, Lieutenant Henderson. Okay, so just closing out Zone 6, Lieutenant Carroll, anything else that you want to share? Are we good?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Lieutenant Henderson from Zone 2, anything
Hi.
you'd like to share?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm Lieutenant Henderson, Zone 2 Admin Lieutenant. As far as crime is concerned in Zone 2, we're down about 11%. In the last 30 days, we had about 16 theft from motor vehicles. The previous 30 days, we're at about 39. So we're trending at about a 58% decrease, which is, trending in the right direction. What's alarming when I was looking at our stats this period is the amount of firearms that we're taking from the theft from motor vehicles. So we have, and I'll link or I'll put in place my email. And if you're interested, we have a program through the Atlanta Police where if you take an online course, it's about 15 minutes. They'll provide you with a gun safe box for your vehicle. This is a great tool if you're, going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium or anywhere where you're not allowed to have a firearm. You can place that firearm in the safe inside of your vehicle. So, God forbid you're a victim of a theft from motor vehicle. We're not placing firearms in the hands of other bad actors in the community. Other than that, if you see something, say something. We're here, of course, 24 hours a day, and I'll have my email and phone number in the chat. And I'm here for any questions.
Any questions for Lieutenant Henderson? Zone 2. Yeah, Kay.
Yeah, so for this online training, is there a website that you can share, or how do we find out more about that? Because I'd like to share that out.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So there's not an actual website for it. You can, if you send me your email with the amount of people that are interested, we can build a class around maybe this NPU group or your neighborhood group. And it's an online course where one of our crime inspectors will send you out the information, maybe a link from them, and you take the course. At the completion of the course, they'll issue the gun safe boxes.
Okay, then we will probably communicate that in our monthly safety newsletter and see what kind of response we get, and then we'll reach out to you about it.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kay. Any other questions for Lieutenant? All right, I'm not seeing any, but thank you, Lieutenant Henderson. Appreciate you being here and for everything you do for us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, let's move on to APD code enforcement. As I mentioned, it's Code Enforcement Officer Appreciation Week. Is Officer Williams with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Officer. Welcome, and thank you for everything you do for the city. What would you like to share with us tonight?
I'm gonna turn my volume up some. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Just wanted to give you guys an update for us what's going on in NPU-F. As of today, we have property maintenance cases, and 13 are highly hazardous cases. Do you need a little information on what's property maintenance and highly hazardous cases?
I think we've got a pretty good understanding of what qualifies as that.
Yeah.
Unless
That's just that's some of the active cases that we are currently working on at the moment.
Okay, great. Are there any questions for Officer Williams? Yeah, Rich.
Officer Williams, do you know why the case against the Happy Herman property complex was shifted back to civil court from criminal court?
Do not know, sir. I'm not familiar with that case, but if you would email me the address, I can see what kind of information I can get for you.
Okay, well, maybe when the city solicitor comes on, she may have some knowledge of that. Because, it went
Okay.
from civil and then they didn't show up. It went to criminal and then I was not around and for some reason it's back in civil court. So it'd be interesting to find out why that happened.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely send me an email and I can find out what information and get back with you on.
Thank you.
You're
All right,
welcome.
thanks. And guys, just as a reminder, if you can, try to use that reaction tab or react tab to raise your virtual hand. I'm trying to scan the videos and look for raised hands, but that raising your virtual hand, make sure you get in the list and in the queue so
Okay.
I won't skip you. Yeah, June, appreciate you doing that. What's
Okay,
up?
so I was at municipal court 2 weeks ago, and at that time, which it was a criminal case. However, the judge has made the determination that there will be a jury trial for the owner of two of, there are two owners about in these buildings. So this is the owner that has the Happy Hermans and the diner and the cleaners, and who he was not present. So the jury trial, and this is really important for all of us to know about, is on November 5th at 1 p.m. And it would be excellent if there were people from NPU-F present, because I will tell you that at the 2 week ago court meeting, we were not allowed to speak, but there were 8 people. I was the only one from the city, and we we were allowed to move closer to where the judge was, and the fact that there were 8 people really helped, I think, to make the judge to decide to have a jury trial. Thank you.
Oh, great. Hey, thanks, June.
Can I say something?
Yeah, Officer Williams, sure.
In reference to what she mentioned about not being able to speak, only people who can speak are the ones that are being summoned. So if you're not summoned, then you won't be able to approach and speak on the case.
Okay. Thank you, Officer Williams.
You're welcome.
Kay, did you have a question? This one?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, June, that I got what you said. That's going to be in municipal court, the jury trial, or is it going to be in Superior Court?
It's going to be in municipal court.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Officer Williams? All right. Well, thank you very much for being here, Officer.
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night. Take care. Okay, that brings up 311. Is Tamika Merriweather with us?
Good evening, guys.
Hello, Tamika.
How are you? I hope you guys are having a happy Wednesday.
So far so good. What would you like to share with us tonight?
The regular, just as you guys know, I am Tamika Clark Merriweather. I am your 311 ambassador. We are here Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to midnight to answer all your non-emergency questions or concerns, like emergency potholes or traffic lights or signal signs, things like that, missing carts, so on and so forth. There are, of course, are 5 pathways to reach us. Of course, you can dial in by dialing 311. If you're not in the city, 404-546-0311. You also can email us at Atlanta or ATL, I'm sorry, ATL311 at Atlanta spelled out ga.gov. You can chat with us at atl311.com. Of course, we would love if you downloaded the mobile app, and you can also at us on social media at ATL311 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I am here to answer any questions or concerns that you may have, any escalations that I might need to run up the chain. But other than that, our contact information will be in the chat along with a survey. And I hope you guys have a great and wonderful rest of your evening.
Excellent. Any questions for Ms. Merriweather? Oh, there's one. Catherine, do you have a question?
Yes, please. Someone asked me to ask tonight because they couldn't come. Last weekend, I think it was on a Sunday morning at 6 a.m., there were dueling gas leaf blowers around the Virginia and Highland intersection. Their guess was they were cleaning up the streets before the market got started. But isn't the noise ordinance that they're not supposed to start that until 7 a.m.? And if so, they wanted to. I told them 311 wouldn't be working at that time. Who do they call?
Well, actually, with noise ordinance, it would be referred to the non-emergency side of APD. So you can dial 311, and when you dial 311, it'll ask you if you need police or fire. That's where you'll press option 2 and let them know your concerns. You also can text them and email them, but we definitely want you guys to do that when it's happening so that they can actually send an officer out to, of course, investigate and witness what you're hearing. After the fact, with a noise complaint, it's kind of null and void. We can't catch them, you know. So
Yeah,
if it ever is happening when they have it, they can always dial 311. That's the quickest, and then press option 2 to get to APD non-emergency side, and they, basically will dispatch an officer without the sirens and try to catch them in the act.
Great.
okay. That's what that was my guess, but I'll let them know. Thank you.
Oh, you're so very welcome.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions for Ms. Merriweather? I have one, I guess, following up on our last month's discussion. I know several people had brought up this issue of not 311, but the underlying departments that 311 refers people to or refers tickets to, their practice of closing tickets if there was a duplicate, somebody else had filed the same thing. Any update on that? Any feedback from the underlying departments on that
N-
policy?
No, I didn't get any updates, but I did pass it on to my supervisor who is reaching out. I know some of the departments that are kind of guilty of that.
Okay,
Uh, so we kind of knew who you were talking about without you actually saying it. And
gotcha.
so we have pushed it up the chain, but I haven't heard anything back as of yet.
Okay.
Uh, but if I need to, I can put in a request for someone to follow up with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I was talking to some folks on Linridge Martin Manor who had some they've got a real problematic vacant house, and they've gone through code enforcement and all the different things. But the 311 tickets, all the neighbors complain keep getting closed, and they don't know why. And I suspected it was a duplicate issue, but just as another example, there is a lot of that sentiment going on. So yeah, if you could
Yeah.
follow up with that, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, specifically with that one, if there is still a seller case, so code enforcement operates out of a seller. If there's still a seller case open, no matter how old, it will automatically close out our ticket, even though we put it in. And so if we
Yeah.
can catch it, we'll tell you to reach out to the officer to kind of get an idea, and they can give you more than what's on the site,
Yeah.
like if there's a court date, like we were talking about with the Happy Herman, things like that, what to expect.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I've had some closed before I even documented it in my
Yeah.
311 stuff. So it's something that we all have noticed, but
Yeah. If
with
you want to
code
maybe have,
enforcement, yeah,
sure. If you want to have your
okay,
supervisor for me follow up with me, I'd be happy to,
sure.
share some more information. Because I know what you're saying. You guys do a great job trying to catch them all, but you're human and nobody can catch them all, that happen automatically. So I understand that. And I think fundamentally we'd like to change the underlying process, rather than have to make a lot of rework for 311 to reopen tickets or recatch things. If we can change that underlying process, I'd be more than happy to help, volunteer some time to do that. So,
Thank you, thank
all
you.
right.
Well, I will definitely pass that along.
Thank you. Catherine, did you have another question or is your hand from before? Oh, okay, very good. Any other
Sorry.
questions then? All right. Well, Tamika, I appreciate you being here tonight.
My pleasure, and I hope you guys have a great one. Take
You
care.
too. Bye-bye. Okay, moving on. How about Public Works Code Enforcement?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Sweet Officer Spurlock here
Good
with the
evening.
Department of Public Works Sweet Team. I hope you guys are having a great evening. This month for NPU-F, we just want to make a couple reminders. I made this um, pile of debris that I found the other day. My background tonight, just for like an educational purpose. This was a pile of debris on the right of way in front of someone's house. They had scheduled it to be collected from ATL 311 for our crew to pick it up. This unfortunately cannot be collected by our collections crew. It's obvious that it's been cut. It was a tree that was cut down by a professional crew. So the ordinance states that we can't collect any professional work done in the city of Atlanta. So they had to have it removed. They did get it removed in a timely manner, so I appreciate them. But I just wanted to put this on the screen tonight just for an educational purpose. Secondly, it is leaf season. Please make sure that you're bagging your leaves with brown paper bags, not plastic. Um, and then lastly, illegal dumping is a crime in the city of Atlanta. So if you see something, say something. Please make sure when you're reporting violations to ATL 311, let's say you saw this when you were driving and you wanted to report it. Please leave that address of the violation and not your home address so that we can properly um, address the violations that are at hand. I'll open the floor for any comments or suggestions or questions. Oh, lastly, I'm so sorry. Please make sure that 9 a.m., the day after your collection, that your trash cans are off the right of way. I know it's kind of hard for us to catch everybody and to enforce that with every house in this area, but just please, if you can be conscious about it, please. You can't have your trash can on the right of way until the day before, and then the day after, it has to be removed by 9 a.m. If it's not, you could possibly be get a notice of violation, and then you can also get a ticket afterwards. And I'll open the floor for any questions or concerns.
Any questions for Officer Spurlock? Well, I have one, Officer. Would you have any update on the glass recycling policy you'd like to share?
Yes, sir. You can put glass in the recycling. Glass is uh, good for recycling.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
And then I guess a second one, I know you mentioned it's leaf season, of course, and use paper bags only. Is the city still on every other week schedule for yard trimmings? Is that the
Yes, sir. We still are on the biweekly yard trimmings for the yard trimmings. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions? All right, well, thank you, officer. Appreciate you being here. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. You too.
All righty, moving on. How about Parks and Rec? Anyone from Parks and Rec?
I'm from Parks and Rec.
Excellent, excellent. Would you
Okay.
have anything to report?
Yeah, I do. I just want to say good evening, everyone. Tara Buckner. I'm the urban planner for the City of Atlanta Department of Parks and Recreation. If if a colleague is supposed to be making this presentation, I yield to you. But moving forward, just want to let you know that I'm here for two things. The first is to let you know, to give you an update on the programming that we have in the park. And then also to be a supporter of the master plan that you will be voting on later today. As it relates to programming, just want to let you know that just a reminder that there is after school programming in our parks. It's $35 a week. We also have Teen Leaders Program. It's a great thing. As you know, the mayor's initiative, Year of the Youth, that has continued through his term. is to really find things for kids to do, and the programs that we have in the parks related to the teen leaders is a great place for them to go. Just a reminder that this is the last month for free fitness with Make Atlanta Your Own Gym. And there is 305 Fitness at Piedmont Park and Kilometer Kids at Piedmont Park. So if you are interested in that, I will be putting the highlights in the chat, and you will be able to access that way. And then lastly, in terms of if you find issues in the park, of course, 311 is the best way to let us know. They will route the concerns that you have to us, or you can email us at Parks Customer Service, that's all one word, at atlantagA.gov. Just one last heads up, it is Halloween, or it's October, and while it's not at Piedmont Park, over in Peachtree Hills, we are having Trunk or Treat from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Thursday, October 30th. And Peachtree Hills Rec Center is 308 Peachtree Hills Avenue, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Buckner with Parks and Rec? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands, but thank you for being here.
Sorry, I didn't realize my camera wasn't on, but thank you.
That's all right. That's all right. We figured out who was speaking. So thank you for being here and for presenting. Okay, moving on. Anyone from Watershed Management? Aisha Brown, perhaps? No? Okay, we'll move on then. How about the solicitor, either the city or the county solicitor? Janelle Bowles? Oh, I see your hand raised. Janelle's, I think you're unmuted though. Ms. Bowles, you're muted.
This is so silly.
There you go.
I should know how to unmute by now.
It's a common mistake. Don't worry about it. We're all guilty of it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janelle Bowles. I am with the City of Atlanta Solicitor's Office. I do not have a report tonight, but if you have any questions, if you want to get some information about a specific case, I may not have the information, but I can pass it on and look it up and communicate back to you.
Kay, do you have a question?
Yeah, it's relative to the sign ordinance and the fact that during campaign season, we see signs everywhere where, according to the ordinance, they should not be. Is there any entity within the city that does anything to enforce the sign ordinance?
I don't have that information right now, but I can research and email you.
I would appreciate that. I'll put my contact information in the chat.
All right. Thanks, Kay. How about Rich? Do you have a question? Rich, you're muted. You're Rich, but you're muted. Hey.
Ms. Bowles, do you know when the Georgia Court of Appeals will make its ruling on the Tokyo Valentino case?
I do not. I don't know that we get updates on when they're going to do it. We just have the orders that come out. But do you have a case number?
No, I don't. That's the one that Stacey Evans argued for the city, the Georgia Court of Appeals, about a month or so ago.
And tell me the name of the
Tokyo Valentino.
Valentino. Okay. I'll see what I can find out, and I'll email you.
I'll put my contact information in the chat, and you can get to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries.
All right, thanks, Rich. And Tamika, I see your hand raised. Do you have a question or a comment?
I have both. So the comment would be for Miss K. As far as those signs, you can call us. We'll put in a ticket and have Public Works come out and remove them. Now, as far as cracking down on them, putting them back, that's different. But we will have somebody come and remove them. I've been putting them in all week, so you can do that. And then as far as my question, Ms. Bowles, I had a constituent ask me about Restore Atlanta. Someone, Mr. Weems from the solicitor's office, reached out to him in regards to a property that he is trying to sell. How do I find out information about that?
Do you have a property address?
Let's see. Give me a quick second.
I'll put my information in the chat and you can email me whatever information you have and I can try
Okay.
to look that up.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. All right. Well, thank you. Any other questions for Ms. Bowles, Solicitor's Office? All right. Well, I'm not seeing any hands, but thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty. Have a good night. Okay, moving on. Last but certainly not least, the Office of the Ombudsman.
Much appreciated. Good evening, everyone. My name is Clyde Mitchell. I am your Neighborhood Relationship Manager in the Office of the Ombudsman of Neighborhood. My contact information is in the chat. I may have to put it back in because I get on very early and put it in. But please always be in touch with our office if we can assist you in any way. We will surface your concerns about departments. We help you find information. We even mediate discord. And we also explore options to resolve outstanding constituent and neighborhood issues. What does that mean? Tom, tell us. That's okay.
That means that if you've exhausted all other possibilities and you've been chasing an issue for multiple months, many months, don't do it right off the bat, and you're not making any progress, that Mr. Mitchell is very well equipped to help make things happen at the city government.
Well, thank you very much. We have an awesome team with ATL 311 that shuttles your information to departments, but sometimes department things happen there. So that's when you're able to utilize us. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, and the more people find out about us, the more we put in cases to escalate. Tom, that's all I have. I'm open for any questions.
All righty. Thank you. Clyde, any questions for Mr. Mitchell? Well, that's a good sign. You must be resolving the issues then. If they're
We're trying.
Very good. Well, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
All righty. Did I miss any city departments? Any departments I forgot about? No? Okay. Well, let's move on then. Item number 5 on the agenda is comments from elected officials. So let's start with a city council. Is Alex with us for District 6? No? How about District 2 or District 5? I'm not seeing anyone in the chat. All righty. Well, then we will move on. Let's see. How about City Council at large? Either Michael Julian Bond or Matt Westmoreland? No? Okay. How about at the state level? State Rep, Stacey Evans? No? Okay. Fulton County Commissioners. I think they're all busy campaigning, everyone from the elected office, and they know they can't do it here. So probably why they're not here tonight. All righty. Well, we will move on then. We are now to the juicy parts, the matters for voting. We are going to start. Yeah, Amber, did you have a question? Amber Madison? Ms. Madison, you're muted.
Sorry.
No
Okay.
problem.
I'm from Councilmember Bond's office. I just wanted to make an announcement.
Okay.
Okay. Tomorrow we will be having our at the Cell Hall Annex. We'll be celebrating our historical marker dedication ceremony. It will join us to commemorate the first meeting of site what will become the Atlanta Student Movement. It will begin at 4:00 p.m. tomorrow. It's free and open to the public. witness history, RSVP here. It has a QR code on the flyer where you can get more background information about the actual historical marker in the history for the Atlanta student movement. Also, our office has finally completed our newsletter. So, and it has all the legislations and background information for the legislations for the past year and the new upcoming ones, as well as the new upcoming dates for the Atlanta Fresh and Free food distributions. Our office is here if you guys, for any other questions or concerns you may have to help get them escalated, as well as the ombudsman's office. Our contact information is 404-330-6770. Council members Bond's email is mbond@atlantagA.gov, and mine is amadison@atlantagA.gov. And I will also drop all this information in the chat.
Great, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, any questions for Ms. Madison? Councilmember Bond? All right, well, thank you for being here.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. All righty. So let's move on to our consent agenda. Item number 6. We have one special event that is Winterfest 2025. It is a Class E event, about 1,900 participants. Looks like it takes place primarily in the Virginia Highlands. Is Caitlin Norrell or Laura Valente present?
Hi there. Yes, this is Caitlin Norrell.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Ms. Norrell. Thank you for being here. We
Of
just need to
course.
make sure you're here, which you are. So just sit tight and we'll go through the rest of the agenda and then vote. All right. So that's it for our special events that qualified for consent. We have 2 variances. Wiley, do you want to briefly run over those?
Okay, so we have one in MLPA and one in Virginia Highland. The one in MLPA is seeking special exception to zoning for front yard setback and to increase lot coverage. This is at 1350 North Highland. There was a recommendation from the association to approve. And there's also V25208, which is seeking a variance from zoning to reduce the half yard setback from 17 feet to 5.7 feet, and that's at 1192 Briarcliff Place in Virginia Highland. So first of all, is somebody here from MLPA or the applicant for V25196?
I see Brad Lewis's hand raised.
I'm here from MLPA.
Okay, but is the applicant here?
Yes. I am not seeing them in the room.
Yes, the applicant is here.
There we go.
Okay. And then for V25208, Briarcliff Place.
I'm here, Nina.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you.
Good. All right.
All right. Great. Well, thanks for being
Check that
here.
box.
Yep, that's all we need for now. Brad Lewis, did you have a question before we go to the vote on this?
Yeah, I was just confirming that we were on the agenda with Juneteenth Atlanta and Fitness ATL for special events.
Yeah, but you're not on the consent agenda. So we're going to cover those when we get to you on the full agenda.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay, so is there anyone here? So all of these 3 items on the consent agenda, the 2 variances and the 1 special event, are both recommended for approval. Is there anyone in opposition to any of these recommendations? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Is there anyone here who wants to have one of these 3 applications removed from the consent agenda so we could have a discussion on it at its regular place in the agenda? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
So moved.
Kevin Cronin.
I heard Kevin first. Is there a second?
Second, Wiley.
Thank you, Wiley. Appreciate it. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, we're going to now use our raise your hand feature to vote. All of those in favor, of approving the consent agenda? Please raise your hand now. Okay, looks like a count of 8 in favor. I am going to lower your hands. Any opposed to the recommendations of the consent agenda? All right, I'm not seeing any. So by a vote of 8-0, the consent agenda passes.
Thank you for your
Okay.
support.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I just said thank you for your support.
Oh, no problem, Nina. Thank you
Y'all
for
have a
being
good
here.
meeting.
You can
All right,
focus
good night,
on
Nina.
NPUW now. All righty. Have a good night. Okay, so that concludes the consent agenda. We are now move on to item number 7 on the agenda, our other matters for voting. So first up is the Atlanta Persian Festival. This is going to be in Piedmont Park next year, April 5th and 6th. It's a Class D event, around 2,000 participant. It's a 2-day event reoccurring. Is Hamid
I'm here.
Garmestani?
That's right.
Excellent. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
So why
Thanks.
don't you tell us a little bit about your event?
Yeah, this is the 10th year that we're having this event at Piedmont Park about the same time every year. This is a festival, the spring festival for Iranians, but this is a way for us to promote our culture and present our cultural events, including dance, food, and music. We had through since 2015. So we had 7 events. This is going to be our eighth event at Piedmont Park, except the 2 years of Corona and 1 year last year that it got canceled just a couple of weeks before because of the storm, or a week before because of the storm at Piedmont Park for safety reasons. This festival is exactly the same pattern every year. It has been very successful. We have followed and I guess all regulations by the city, and we're constantly improving ourselves for this festival. There are about maybe 6 restaurants. These are all well-known restaurants in town who are serving food. We have several bands who are performing at Piedmont, and usually we have hundreds. Some people say we had about 1,000 dancing right in Piedmont Park with the music that we had. And we have 3 dance groups, or maybe 4, that dance at different times. These are all female dancers, of course, but we have from different age groups. And so it's a very, very happy festival, and we're getting a lot of messages, a lot of positive response from the community in Atlanta about them. And we are really looking forward to a very successful one in 2026.
Okay, thank you. Let's
Thank
open it
you.
up for questions. Any questions about the Atlanta Persian Festival? All right, I'm not seeing any. So, if there's no questions, why don't we open it up for a vote, or a motion rather? Can I have a motion on this festival?
Move
I'll
to
move just,
approve.
and I'll second.
All right, thank you, Rich. Thank you, Kay. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion to approve the Atlanta Persian Festival, please raise your hands. Okay, I'm counting 8 in favor, and I am lowering your hands. Any opposed? Any opposed to the motion to approve Atlanta Persian Fest? Please raise your hand. Okay, I'm not seeing any. So by a vote of 8-0, the motion carried. Atlanta Persian Festival is going to move forward with a recommendation of approval. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you so much, and really appreciate your vote, and looking forward to have you all in our festival on April the 5th and 6th. The festival is going to be, the main event is going to be on April 6th, but we are starting halfway through April the 5th. But I would really appreciate all of you to join us and let us know if you have any any comments or any suggestions or really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for your support.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, we're moving on to Fitness ATL. I know Mr. Brad Lewis is with us. This is an event at Piedmont Park. It's next year, June 13th and 14th, the Class E event, about 2,000 participants. It's a 2-day event, but it's not a new event. It's happened before. So, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, how are you?
Great, great. Would you, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the event?
Okay, so Fitness ATL is kind of an extension of the Juneteenth Atlanta event. We normally do fitness related activities during our Juneteenth Atlanta Festival. So with the World Cup being here, we were thinking about how could we kind of highlight that area, meaning the soccer and also American football as well in the park. And this is a rendition of what that looks like at Piedmont Park. So that's really what the event is about. It'll have soccer activations. We'll have also some American activations, American football activations as well. But it's just a brief kind of celebration, a warm up to the World Cup arena, and then also a warm up to the Juneteenth Atlanta Festival, which is the next week.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate that. And Mr. Lewis, I do appreciate the fact that you're here today to talk about this. I do want to talk a little bit about the logistics, though, leading up to this meeting tonight, because of course you've been in our agenda for this is the fourth consecutive month, and this is the first time somebody's shown up to actually talk about this. I do want to make sure everybody's aware there is a fair amount of work that goes in advance of these meetings and after the meetings. Every time we defer one of these things, there's agendas, there's reviews, there's reports that are filled out. And it is a little frustrating that we reached out in August through the neighborhood planning unit coordinator, and he confirmed that you allegedly confirmed that you were going to be there in August. So I guess what's happened the last 3 months?
Well, I've been on a couple of different meetings, and we were not able to proceed with those meetings because ideally we kind of, well, personally, I'll speak for myself. I was at the wrong meeting. I think it was the Midtown one. So kind of in the past, we've had to do 3 meetings since the zones have changed. Now it's 2 meetings.
Yeah.
So in that, I've kind of got those meetings mixed up. So that's kind of what has happened along with a lot of other stuff as life has happened. But I mean, in the past, we've always done our best to make certain that we attend the meetings. I think part of that also as well is that as the permitting process, we start extremely early at this particular point, and trying to get all the things and questions that you guys may ask and have answers for kind of takes some time when you're planning, events the size of and the amount of people and constituents we reach out to. It takes time as well. So, we are pardon any inconvenience. So I apologize for any inconvenience. We just wanting to do our due diligence with making certain that when you guys have questions that we can answer those questions. And it's a great event and it's best for the community.
I completely understand it, and we do appreciate the fact that you start the processing early. That definitely helps avoid any last minute, trying to add things on the agenda. But we're also very willing to defer at your request if you would prefer to date closer to the event. We're happy to do that so you can get all the I's dotted and T's crossed, if you will. So just reach out to the NPU director, coordinator, and say you'd like to postpone, and we're happy to accommodate that as well. So we appreciate you being here tonight.
Well, I think we do have enough information now. At that particular time, we were, just confirming stuff.
Yeah.
And so now we have, enough information to present to say this is what the festival will look like.
Okay, great.
Or the event will look like, I should say.
Okay, great. Kay, did you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick one, because this is something new that you're doing, and it's sports activity related. Is this going to be throughout the whole park, or will you be up in the active oval, or where in the park is this going to take place?
Just in the meadow area. That's
in the
about
meadow.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And do you know yet who is going to do security for the event? Who's going to be in charge of that?
I will look back at the permitting. I think we have APD, an
Uh-huh.
officer, or the sheriff's office. One of the two. I'll look back on them because we have two permits in, so I'll just double check and see which one is which.
If you want to just throw that in the chat, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
Great. Oh, and one additional, is there alcohol sales at the Fitness ATL? I'm sorry, Mr. Lewis, is there alcohol sales at Fitness ATL?
No alcohol sales.
No, okay. I can hear you. Something happened with your audio. It's
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're
Okay.
back.
Okay.
I think I sent him off to look something up, Tom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll blame Kay
No.
for that one.
Yeah, no alcohol sales. This is, family friendly. So that's really what the gist of this is all about. No alcohol sales.
I gotcha. Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions on a Fitness ATL? Okay, I'm not seeing any, so let's open the floor to a motion.
I'll move to support.
Okay, thank you, Kay. Is there a second? Rich raising his hand. Thank you, Rich. Any discussion on the motion? I'm not seeing any hands. All those in favor of approving Fitness ATL, please raise your hands. Okay, looks like we are leveling off at 10. I'm going to lower your hands. Any opposed to approving Fitness ATL? Anyone in opposition, please raise your hand. Okay, I'm not seeing any, so by a vote of 10-0, the motion carries. Fitness ATL is moving forward with a recommendation of approval. Okay, next up, Mr. Lewis, while we've got you here, is the other half of this, I guess, Juneteenth Atlanta Parade and Music Fest. It's
Yeah.
also in Piedmont Park. What is it, the week after, I believe, June 19th through 21st?
Yes, correct.
Great. What would you like to tell us about
Yeah.
this event?
Okay, so this is our 14th year doing Juneteenth. So we've done it at a number of different venues. Piedmont has been the last 2 or 3 years, I think. Prior to that, we were at Centennial Park and then Home Depot backyard prior to that. And then just through different parks in the city. But the event has continued to grow. We also have a parade as well, but that's not a part of this agenda. But the festival is just straightforward. It's celebrating, the contributions of Americans, and it's all about freedom. So we have very strict rules and regulations on music selections, a lot of food vendors, uh, open conversations and panels about, different aspects that help bring communities together. And that's really the gist of it. We have food vendors, like I said, as well. But that's about it. We've been getting a lot of support from the city in general. Definitely a lot of, uh, great ideas and, collaborations with people in the Midtown area, surrounding the event, but definitely a lot of support from the city over the 14 years we've been doing it. So looking forward, to the same kind of sentiment then.
Okay, great. Any questions about the Juneteenth Atlanta Parade and Music Fest? All right, I'm not seeing any hands, so if there's no additional questions, excuse me, we will open the floor to a motion.
I'll move to support.
Thank you,
I'll second.
Kay.
I was waiting for you, Rich.
I heard Rich, and then Katie, I see
Okay.
your hand raised. Do you have a question? Katie Louise? Oh, no. Okay. All right. So a motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we will take it to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to support Juneteenth Atlanta Parade and Music Fest, please raise your hand. Okay. I am counting 11 ayes. I'm lowering your hands. Anyone opposed to the motion to approve Juneteenth? I'm not seeing any. So by a vote of 11 ayes and 0 nays, the motion carries. Juneteenth Atlanta Parade and Musical Fest is moving forward with a motion to support. All right, Mr. Lewis. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you all. And Kay, that is Fulton County Sheriff's Office that'll be providing security.
All right, thank you. Kay's muted, but
Okay.
thank you. She got it. All right.
Okay.
She's
All right.
nodding, so
And
we're
thank
good.
y'all so much. And really appreciate you all's time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lewis. Appreciate you being here. Okay, and then of
Have a good
course our
night.
last Mosey event was Winterfest that we covered under the consent agenda. So that wraps up our events for the Mayor's Office of Special Events. Let's move on to alcohol licenses. We have one on the agenda tonight. That is for Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint. It is a restaurant going into the former Taco Mac location at where is that? 1006 North Highland Avenue. Um, let's see, is I saw a whole bunch of folks here. I recognize names. Matthew Chung, I believe, is here. Jason Owensby, right? And council as well. I think I saw Mindy here earlier.
I'm here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, welcome, folks. Appreciate you all being here in force. What would you like to tell us about our beloved Taco Mac location? What do you have in store for us?
Thanks, Tom. As you mentioned, I'm Mindy Thompson with Sard Luck Attorneys, and we represent Jack Brown's regarding their alcohol license application. So this is going into the former Taco Mac location. We're applying as a restaurant, beer, wine, liquor consumed on premise. So Jack Brown's, if you're not familiar with them, they operate over 20 locations throughout the Southeast. So this will be their first location coming to the state of Georgia. They're excited to bring it to the Virginia Highland neighborhood. Matthew Chung will be the agent on the alcohol license. Matthew has been in the hospitality industry for over 10 years, prior experience at Iron Hill Brewery in Dunwoody, as well as Hilton Hotels, and as well as Benihana. He will be on site for at least 50 hours per week. All of their alcohol servers will go through a tips training program, and they will be carding everyone who wishes to order an alcoholic beverage. Optimistically, fingers crossed, opening by mid-November, but I think we're all familiar with city permitting, so we are definitely at their mercy. I will stop right there and answer any questions that you guys may have for us.
Great. And I know, Mindy, you've been great answering questions in advance as well, along with Jason and Matthew. So, and you also attended the Virginia Highland meeting as well in advance. We really appreciate that. We know that's kind of an optional thing, and it really helps us. So we appreciate that flexibility. Maybe in the interest of time, I'll quickly recap some of the things that you've answered via correspondence or at that meeting. And if I say anything that's not 100% accurate, please correct me, and then we can open it up for additional questions after that. Does that sound good? Okay, so opening November 5th, hopefully that works because I'm eager to check out your establishment. We talked about Matthew being the having a license. We talked about no alcohol infractions at former locations, the Iron Hill Brewery in particular. We talked a lot about the music level inside and out. I think we agreed there's going to be no music on the back deck in the alleyway, just in the front patio that faces Highland, right? And then we had a discussion at the Virginia Highland meeting regarding the dumpster pickup. I know a lot of folks live on Ripley, which backs up immediately to that alley. Is there anything you guys can share? We talked about maybe an agreement with the collection times. Any developments on that?
Sure, and I'll let Jason jump in here as much as he needs to, but I believe the discussion was also collaborative effort with Murphy's, which they've already approached Murphy's, working on having that collaboration to get that on the same type of schedule, a good working relationship between the businesses. The routing, certainly we are at the mercy of the waste hauler. But I believe what Jason had mentioned that it's a kind of a window between 7 and 11. And that's what it's currently set for. Jason, did I miss anything there?
No, that was perfect. I spoke with Kevin this morning about it. It sounds like they're coming right now, right at that 7 o'clock hour. And so Matthew and I spoke, and we're going to get with Murphy's as well and see if we can talk with the routing there just to see if there's a way. We obviously don't want it coming when there's a lot of foot traffic on the sidewalk trying to get in and out, but also certainly understand from a residential standpoint, you don't want that thing being emptied early in the morning when you're still trying to sleep. So if we can get that at a more reasonable time, we're certainly going to work on that with the vendor.
Okay. Kay, you've had your hand raised. Did you have a question you want to jump in with?
Not really a question. It just, this is sort of your opportunity to introduce yourselves to the neighborhood. And obviously, given your name, we know that you're going to have burgers. But is there anything else sort of special about your menu or your approach that you want to share with the neighborhood, so we have a better feel for what it's going to be like to come in there?
Sure. I'll give you a little bit quick background on the brand, and then I'll let Matthew talk specific to this location. So, as Minnie mentioned, this will be our 22nd location. We're really excited to be coming to Virginia Highlands. We have kind of surrounded Georgia for a long time, so excited to be coming to the Atlanta market, specifically Virginia Highlands. We serve a Wagyu beef burger, so if you're familiar, it's half step down from Kobe, so it's a really high quality beef. So, and we like to talk about our places as a 5-star dive. So it's a kind of, they got the dive bar feel, but it's not grungy and dirty and anything like that. So it's a great family environment to come and hang out. And I'll let Matthew talk about our Notch Club, which is our craft beer appreciation club, and some of the things we want to do there in the community.
Yeah, definitely. So just being with the brand and just observing other locations, one of the main things that we're working on is just creating the Notch Club, which is essentially just a way for just people to have that community feel within Jack Brown's, have that communion, drink their favorite beers, try different ones. We plan to do outreach within the community, just the local breweries. There aren't as many around as there used to be. So just the ones that are active, just touching base with them, getting them inside, and the ones that are popular, we keep in rotation. In addition to that, just having like events like Natra Olympics. So annually, we'll get them together, probably somewhere near, and we'll all kind of do like competitions, just fun, just kind of improving the vibe. That's one of the things that I've observed just being with Jack Brown's is just the communion and just getting everyone together. Fly your flag is one of the pillars that they stand on, or that we stand on, and it just means that you're essentially come as you are. And I think that's just something that I really like to see permeated within Virginia Highlands as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I was a member of the Bruniversity at your predecessor at that
Oh,
location.
perfect.
I don't think I ever got above plebe status, but that's a challenge I'll try to correct with Jack Brown's.
Okay, yeah, you try 100 different ones, you get a cool little shirt with your
something
name
like
on
that.
it, and
Yeah.
there you go. So we'll
All
get you
right.
taken care of. It'd be great.
Kevin, what would you like to add?
Yeah, so Jason and I actually spoke earlier today. In addition just to the garbage, there was one of the neighbors called me this morning because the grease trap people showed up at 3 a.m. So, and I think we've got several neighbors down there, but told me glad to hook them up with Jason, and they know Tom, and try to work on a mutual agreement that will make it safe and more quiet for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, you saw the email I sent on that as well with the ordinance. Yeah, a grease truck would definitely be a loading truck, I would think. But okay, yeah, 3 a.m. is pushing it a bit. Yeah.
So
okay. Alrighty. Let's see. What else did I have on my list? We talked about that. We talked about the back deck. You guys are zone neighborhood commercial 11. 21 locations. Yep. So you're a well-established entity. Oh, is this a location? Are you guys corporate owned, or is this a franchise location, or how do
Yes,
you
sir. So all our locations are corporate owned.
Okay. Okay. Great. All right. Any other questions from the body as a whole? No? All right. Well, I'm not seeing any red flags with this one other than the concern on the trash pickup time and the grease pickup time. So if there's no other questions or comments, we will open it up. Oh, excuse me, Kevin, what Virginia Highland Planning Committee reviewed this, correct?
Yeah,
And what was
Virginia Highland Planning Committee as well as the board, and had unanimous support from both.
unanimous support? Great. Okay, great. Appreciate that. So if there's no other questions or comments, I'll open it up to a motion.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Kevin. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kay. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing any. Let's take it to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to support Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint, please raise your hand. Okay, looks like we're leveling off at 9 ayes. I'm lowering the hands. Any opposed? Any opposed to the rec? Okay, Katie, I see the burger. Any opposed to the motion to approve? All right, seeing none, the motion carries at a vote of 9-0. We are moving Jack Brown's to the LRB with a recommendation of approval. And I see you guys are on the LRB for the 21st already? Mindy, how did you pull that? We had 6 days from now. We haven't even voted yet.
You know, we were sending good thoughts out into the universe.
Well, as you know, with a positive recommendation, you will fly through the LRB. So we look forward to that hurdle being taken away, and hopefully you can hit that November 5th date.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. That concludes our alcohol licenses. Let's move on to variances. Wiley, you want to take the baton?
Sure. So it's a little bit messy. Of course, 25-196 was covered on the consent agenda. 25-208 was on the consent agenda. It's our understanding that 25-215 is not going to be on the agenda because it was deferred by the applicant to shift its BZA schedule. So we won't be talking about that. So that leaves us with V25-198, where the applicant seeks a variance special exception from the zoning ordinance to reduce the half-depth front yard from 17.5 to 2 feet and allow active recreation in the yards adjacent to the street. This is in Lindridge Martin Manor neighborhood. Again, a little bit confusing. It's our understanding that it was not reviewed by the association. And so I guess, Rich, if you want to talk about what your position is on this, we would rather not. We would like to talk about it since it is currently scheduled to be on the November BZA.
Rich, you're muted.
So V25-215, I had discussed with the applicant and the homeowner. V25-198, I received the day I was leaving for Europe. And so I didn't have a chance to see, and I did not have access to my NPU account while I was overseas. I just came back last night, and I had not had a chance to review this at all. I've contacted the applicant, not the homeowner, the applicant, and said, try and get a public hearing later because LMNA would not even be meeting until November to look at either of these. V25-15, I did get a chance to look at about a month ago, and in fact, it changed. Initially, it had 2 sections. One, the west yard setback required from 7 feet to 0 feet because they were construct a carport, had put posts in the ground. and they followed, and I asked them to sort of postpone it because I knew.
Rich and Wiley, can I jump in for a minute here?
Yeah, please do, Tom. Yeah, we're not talking about 15.
Real quick, we're kind of covering two at once. Let's take them one at a time.
Okay, so we did not have any chance to talk to anybody about 198.
Yeah. So given that we brought up 215 a couple times, let me just be clear on that. So that's on our agenda. So we've got an agreement with the applicant to defer that until next month.
Okay.
So we need to cross the i's and dot the t's. The BZA on that, we have confirmation that's going to be in December. So the action for us is to defer that to next month. All right. So can I have a motion to defer V25 215?
Motion to defer.
Thank you, Wiley. And Rich, did you second that?
Yes, I did.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion to defer, please raise your hand. Okay. 9 ayes. 10 ayes. Lowering hands. Anyone opposed to deferring? Seeing none, by a motion of 10-0, V25 215 is deferred to November 19th. Okay, great. So that takes care of
Tom.
215. Let's all just focus on 198 now. I'll let you guys run with that.
So I just got this one today, basically. It was sent, I think, on the September 21st. LMNA board would not even have an opportunity to look at it until the first week in November. I contacted the applicant today to ask the BZA to defer it because we wouldn't have a chance to look at it until November. I did not hear back from the applicant yet. So I don't know what to do.
So is the applicant here?
I don't believe the applicant is here.
Well, by our policy, well, we don't have it. The applicant has to be here for us to render an approval.
So we're kind of forced to defer, but we're deferring without comment. And if they did not get their BZA hearing changed, they theoretically go to the BZA without having any input from Ellen, from you guys, from the association.
That's true. Given that the applicant is a no-show for tonight, they in theory are obligated to appear before the NPU at a later meeting if the BZA is rescheduled. If they had been here tonight and we deferred and it didn't get rescheduled with the BZA, the applicant would not be obligated to come back a second time in front of us. But that's not the case.
So Wiley and Tom, what should I convey to the applicant on this? What would be your?
Well, again, I'm far from an expert in this, as I said in my email.
Or Wiley, what do you think I should?
Well, based on Tom and Debbie both, weighing in on this thing, the risk is that if they are unsuccessful in getting the BZA to delay their scheduled hearing, which is November 13th, that they show up at that hearing with no official word from you or us.
Correct.
And so the BZA would not be making a decision based on any input from the neighborhood.
Correct.
But if they are successful in getting the BZA to change to the December date, then you will have time to do your thing, and they would come back to us, and then we would be able to render an opinion before they get to the BZA. So that happens if the applicant can show, so it's kind of boxes it into having to vote on a deferral.
Yeah,
but if we defer and they have not gotten it changed, then they can show up at BZA without any input from you guys.
Correct.
Well, or us.
What I think would be fair, I know the person who owns the property, and he and I have sort of discussed offhand. I knew he was going to do something, and I think he'll do a fine job. I mean, I'm not worried about him doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I will write to the applicant tomorrow and say that I strongly urge you to get the deferral from the BZA so that LMNA will take action at its meeting in early November. And that NPU would then look at it at its meeting in November. And so that they were asking for a BZA meeting in December so that they would be ready to go to BZA in December if at all possible, or at a later date if they can't do it in December. I just want to be as fair as possible, but something they try.
Yeah.
Sometimes these things happen so fast we really don't have time to react properly.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think their hardship case in my mind is already proven, considering who their backyard neighbor is. But Kay,
do you have a?
I'm sorry, Wiley, you take it.
Okay, sorry, Tom.
No,
Kay, do you have
that's
a
what I'll
question?
do. I'll make sure that the owner and the applicant and the owner are informed tomorrow morning, and I will CC you guys on whatever I write.
Okay, cool. Kay?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Doug Young may be able to clarify this, but I think we do on the report that goes back want to make it clear that they did not appear, and therefore that's the reason we didn't take an action. Not that we didn't have an opinion, but that they didn't appear before us because
Right.
So that'll be clear, and that's the position that it preserves our right to have them come back.
Yeah,
and I'll make sure that's in the notes.
Yeah. I fill out reports after this meeting on each of the things we vote on, so I'll make sure that's there.
Okay.
Doug, I see your thumbs up. That's the right thing to do. You're with us, right?
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, so if that being the case, then I think we're at a point where a motion to defer. Is there a motion to defer?
Yeah, I think that's the right course.
Because the applicant did not appear.
Yes.
So Rich has made the motion.
Rich?
I make the motion to defer.
Second, sorry.
All those in favor of the motion to defer, raise your hands.
Like we're leveling off at 10. I'll lower the hands.
All those opposed to the motion to defer? No, I don't see any.
Okay, so 10-0, the motion carries. 25-198 is deferred to next month. Okay, thank you, Wiley. Rich, it looks like you're going to be a busy gentleman. You've got 2 for next month already.
Well, 3.
We'll cross that bridge once it crosses the desk. But welcome back from Europe.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. So that's our variances. Wiley, do you want to keep going with the
Sure.
zoning ordinance?
Sure thing. There's a text amendment zoning ordinance Z2563. It's an ordinance by council members Jason Dozier and William Bahakatari as amended to the zoning committee to amend the 1982 zoning ordinance as amended by prohibiting the use of barbed wire and or razor wire along public rights of way in all zoning districts and for other purposes. There's a fact sheet was attached that goes into the logic and whatnot of why this is being brought up. I'd be interested to hear, is there somebody from the council that can talk about this and explain the necessity for this change in minutes? Apparently not.
The only one would be Doug if he doesn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, Doug, do you have any background on this one?
Only what's in the fact sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know of any particular incidents or any more than that.
Yeah, and I guess, like I said, with nobody here to present it and defend it, I guess I have a whole list of questions about, what brings this up and what the necessity is. Are there statistics that show that there are enough injuries in the city because of barbed wire and razor wire, or is this just a feel-good thing? You don't want to have barbed wire in a neighborhood. It's all over the city. I drove around when this thing showed up, looked at all the neighborhoods. Questions would be like, does this require removal? Does this require that public facilities like prisons have to comply with it, or other places, schools? I think maybe there's probably a school around here someplace that has some barbed wire on the top of a fence around a ball field or something. Is there no other way to provide public safety without another ordinance? If there's a particular issue or situation, is that something that can be dealt with individually as opposed to a sweeping legislation about no barbed wire? So those are the few questions I had, and of course, there's nobody here to respond. So, Kay, you're next.
I second everything that you said. And in general, I sort of resist what feels like one-size-fits-all solutions for a problem that may apply in one small place or because of one incident. I think my suggestion would be that we vote not to approve this, but offer in Tom's report back the very questions that you asked as the reasons that we're saying not now, because we don't understand what problem you're trying to solve.
Right. Tom, you're next.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I raised my hand because I want to make these comments as a individual member of the NPU, not as the vice chair. I looked at the fact sheet and it talked about 3 cases where people potentially get hurt with this, and the first one I think is legitimate. It's like if a child is inadvertently injured, and so I would be in favor of any ordinance that maybe required the barbed wire to be, I don't know, 6 feet off the ground or professionally installed, or stiff penalties for anyone that's not compliant, or if it degrades to that. I would be in favor of that. The other 2 reasons may have ice water in my veins, but that's the purpose of barbed wire. The other 2 reasons were people that are trespassing could potentially get injured, or people climbing the fence. I mean, again, that's the purpose of the barbed wire. So I don't see a need. I'm in favor of protecting, inadvertent injuries, but I don't see a need for an ordinance that attempts to bubble wrap the city at the expense of taking away legitimate business owners' right to try to protect their property. So I'm not in favor of this ordinance as it stands today. Thank you.
Rich?
Yeah,
Rich, you're next.
I'm wondering if it just refers to private entities. Does it refer to public entities? Does it refer to public utilities? Who should be entering an area of high transmission lines, jails, other types of facilities where, maybe this is targeting the new public training facility. I don't know. But there's just, it's weird. And
Yeah.
nobody's here to answer questions.
All right. Any questions, comments? If not, I'd like to move to make a motion to not approve this.
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, a motion has been moved and seconded to not approve this. Is there any discussion of that motion? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion to not approve, with Tom, of course, maybe a slight amendment, making sure all these comments are forwarded along with the non-approval.
Yeah, I've been jotting a bunch. Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion to not approve with the comments, raise your hand. 2, 4, 6.
I've got 8, Wiley.
8.
8
Okay.
ayes. I'll lower the hands.
All those opposed to the motion to not approve. 1.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
One vote. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the motion carries 8-1 to not approve with the comments that Tom will make with the report.
All right. And just, Doug, I'm going to put that down, not approval, as a motion to deny in the form, the planner's form, just to be clear. Okay. Well,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wiley. Appreciate it. Okay, we have one more item for voting. That is a land use amendment. Last month, we covered the comprehensive development plan for Piedmont Park. I want to thank, I know Doug is with us, and I appreciate we were running really late last month, and Doug was very gracious and I think cut his presentation a little bit short and in the interest of time. So we really appreciate that. So, Doug, I don't think we want to run through the whole presentation again, but in the interest of fairness, were there any key points that you maybe glossed over last month because in the interest of time that you'd like to elaborate on? Oh, and I see Tara here as well. Anything you'd like to add?
We'll add that the plan was created in partnership with our great partners at City of Atlanta Department of Parks and Recreation, and was contributed to by thousands of Atlantans. So this really is when we say comprehensive plan, we mean comprehensive in every single way, both from the amount of input we got from community members on all aspects of the park. So last month, I talked a lot about the capital improvement projects, but in addition to those projects, I guess I'll step back and say those projects are envisioned to be implemented in what we're thinking now is 3 major phases, and maybe some other projects being able to happen in between those phases that would start as early as later next year and would run through the middle 2030s. The first phase being where I focused the presentation last week or last month, which is the expansion of the park in closer to in NPU-F, which is at the corner of Piedmont and Monroe. Piedmont Commons would expand all the way to that corner, and then building what we're calling Clear Creek Walks, which is a lovely set of trails and boardwalks and canopy walks through Clear Creek, and is also a way to add more throughput through a very narrow part of the park where the Beltline came in and took up the carriage trail. So the other parts of the plan include beautifying the entrances, looking at flow and access, prioritizing people and non-motorized vehicles, looking at event cadence and break periods for the park, accessibility. So we really looked at everything, and the whole plan is available at plan.piedmontpark.org. I will say that we are working diligently on phase 1. We've got some additional work happening on more detailed drawings for the expansion, and we will be having some major news at our landmark luncheon on April 23rd, 2026, focusing on launching our major capital effort to fund that expansion and finish it by 2030 to meet the Beltline that comes through the park now and the imminent expansion of the Atlanta Botanical Garden to meet the Beltline as well. So I'm happy to answer any questions, and my friend Tara online can pick up anything that I missed on that.
Any questions for Doug or Tara?
No, Doug, you missed nothing other than all you can just please envision that this is a better Piedmont Park, and Piedmont Park is pretty great right now. Imagine what it could be with this plan.
Excellent. Well said. Well said. All right. Are there any no additional questions for Tara or Doug? All right. We will open the floor to a motion.
I'll move to support.
Thank you,
Second.
Kay. I'm sorry.
Second by Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. All right. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion to support Piedmont Parks Master Plan, please raise your hands now. I'm seeing 9 ayes. I will lower the hands. Any opposed to the comprehensive plan for Piedmont Park? Please raise your hand. Good to see. We all love the parks. So by a motion of 9-0, the motion carries. We are recommending approval of the Piedmont Park plan. Thank you both to Doug and Tara for being here.
Thank you all, and thank you for all you do for our great city and community. Have a great night.
All right,
Take care.
thank you. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Okay, folks, that concludes our matters for voting. Number 8 is presentations. There are none on the agenda tonight, which takes us to item 9, the planner's report. Doug, what would you like to share?
Evening, everybody. My name is Doug Young. I'm the director of the City of Atlanta's Office of Design, but tonight I'm here as your friendly neighborhood F planner, NPU-F planner. Just a couple quick announcements for you tonight from our department. One is we just wanted to note that the Piedmont Heights master plan was officially adopted in September. And so you can see that listed underneath the Department of City Planning website underneath neighborhood and small area plans. You can click on that and see the whole final document. And then this week is Department of City Planning is celebrating Historic Preservation Week. It started on Monday, goes through Saturday, including tonight. There was a tour at the Chastain Art Center of the old Fulton County Almshouse. And then there's also an event on Thursday and on Friday and Saturday. So check out AtlantaCityStudio.org for more details on everything related to that activity. Those are all free and open to the public. And so please check that out. Those are all the updates we have from our department. I'll be putting my contact information and links to a variety of sort of more standard information sources in the chat.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Any questions for Doug? All right. Well, thanks for being here. Okay, let's move on to item 10, the neighborhood reports. Up first is Lindridge Martin Manor with 3 minutes to spare, Rich.
Okay, October 19th, Sunday, our annual Pets and People Parade starting at 4 o'clock on Melanti Circle, going for about a half an hour or however people can walk to Ormond Park, at which time we will have our annual Halloween festival at Ormond Park somewhere around 4:30 to whenever. And then our annual meeting for Lindridge Martin Manor will most likely occur on November 4th. It's usually the first Wednesday of November. We've had it at Colonnade. I haven't received official confirmation, but I suspect it'll start at 7:15. Tom, I will notify you, both you and Debbie, that of the precise date, venue, and time.
I appreciate that, Rich. 2 minutes to spare. We're in good shape. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to Piedmont Heights.
Yeah, this is Tim Berube. I was unable to attend, but I was out of town, but I was told I missed a fantastic Taste of Pie High put on by the Piedmont Heights Business Alliance. It was the 3rd annual, and it's getting bigger and better every year. So make sure you go next year.
I was fortunate enough to attend, and I agree, Tim. It was a phenomenal event, really well done, and yeah, I'm looking forward to going next year. So thank you. Okay, how about Morningside Lenox Park? Yeah, I know Marla said she had a conflict tonight, so we will move on. Kevin, what would you like to share with Virginia Highlands?
Hi. So I know Tom talked earlier about our bike lane. So if you're over this way biking, certainly come try out the pilot we have. We have new officers effective October 1st. Adam Foss will be our president. Tim Langham will be our vice president. Rob Blancy and Mary Francis will be our treasurer, and Carrie Hobson Pace will be our secretary. We are planning our home tour. I believe there's 10 homes on the tour. I believe one of them actually is Morningside Lenox Park. So we're like that participation across the neighborhood lines. And that will be December 13th and 14th. Winterfest, which is the event we approved, will actually be that Saturday. So we're doing these in conjunction together. And following up to Kay's issue about signs, I just did report earlier the 311 system crashed twice, so I emailed our contact there about political signs at the polling place in front of Bank of America and then east of the library there. So hopefully we'll see those probably 60 signs between those two locations go away.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank
you
you.
mentioned 311 crashed. Are you aware there's 5 different pathways to get to 311?
Yes, but I like my login account.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry I
Thank you,
couldn't help
Dad.
myself. Everybody's weak. We all have moments of weakness. All right, moving on. Edmund Park. Okay. Emory CDC or Druid Hills. All right. And Rich, you're still with us. Parks, Trees, Environment.
No report, but just we've had a half an inch of rain in about the last 6 weeks. So if you want your plants to live, you got to water.
Good point. Okay. Education. Jason. No. Communications. I don't think Marla's with us. All righty. Public safety. Kay or Susan?
Yeah, just a couple of things. We finally have made arrangements for the celebration of life for John Wolfinger. That will be on November 16th from 1 to 4 at the Colonnade, and all are welcome. And then also the Virginia Highland District, which is the business association for the North Highland District through Virginia Highland and Morningside, is holding their annual meeting for all residents on Tuesday, October 21st at 6 o'clock. It's going to be at Callenwald. All the information is on the Virginia Highland District website, and so you can RSVP. And the Virginia Highland Security Patrol will also be at that event. And we have some interesting offers in terms of dual memberships between the two organizations, and to tell you about some other collaborations that we're doing around safety in those neighborhoods. So that's all I've got. And I don't believe Susan's here tonight.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. A couple of things. First of all, we have a tour of the public safety training center coming up. The date is now on November 7th, a Friday from 1 to 3. I've sent out an email, and so far we can have up to 25 people. I think so far we have about 6, but I will send out a reminder like 10 days before. And with the holidays approaching, we're going to start. I've already sent the email out for all the neighborhoods that are in Zone 2. This year, we're going to collect money for $25 generic gift cards. At the advice of my friends at Zone 2, it'll be a lot easier for the officers if it's a generic card rather at a specific restaurant or establishment. So I'm doing some research about the processing cost, but I think it's worth it that we give the officers something that is easy for them to use. I think that's all I've got from my side, Kay.
Great. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Kay. Appreciate it. Wiley, anything else you want to add? All right, I don't want to skip you over. Katie, how about APAB? Katie, I see you're muted. Anything you want to share about APAB? Atlanta Planner Advisory Board? All right, I'm going to take that as a no. All right, and then from the chair report, I guess there's 2 things. One, an update. As you recall, last month we recommended to deny the Time Restaurant alcohol application for the second time. And that did go to LRB since last meeting. I apologize. I was not able to attend the LRB personally, but Bill Compton went in our behalf and did a great job representing us. So a big thanks to Bill. I know he's not on right now, but a big thanks to Bill for that valiant effort. It didn't go the way we wanted, and I talked with Bill today, and it was a very frustrating experience, but I do appreciate sincerely Bill going and representing the NPU. And then the last thing, I've talked about this quite a bit over the last 4 months, but we're getting down to the wire. Our NPU elections are next month. They're at the next meeting that we hold, which I think is November 19th, if memory serves. And again, I think there are going to be some current positions that will be open where I currently don't have a line of sight to individuals for all the jobs. So I know the audience numbers are down. We're down to 19 people still in the meeting. But if anyone's interested in running, please let me know and spread the word. I have sent some targeted emails out to some folks. But I think we're gonna have plenty of opportunities, more opportunities than we have the bodies to fill them, quite frankly. So if you know anyone that's interested in giving back to the community, please have them reach out to myself or any of the board members. And maybe specifically me, I can tell you what jobs I think we're struggling to fill, and we'll try to get a full slate for next year. Okay, that's it for the chair report. Any old business? Any new business? All right, item 13, lucky 13 on the agenda. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I
So
motion that we
moved.
adjourn.
Second, third,
Wiley, and was that Kevin with a second?
and a third. Yes.
Oh, come on. I did it. Okay. Well, any objections to adjourning? Seeing none, the motion carries without objection. We are adjourned, people. It is 9:06 p.m. For the record, we started at 7:06, so 2 hours flat.
Record.
Not
Come on,
bad.
that's
Good
not
job, Tom.
Go pour some
Excellent.
bourbon.
Excellent.
Job.
All right, folks. Well, I
All
thank
right.
you, everyone, for making it
See
to
you all
the
later.
end.
Well done.
Bye.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks,
All
Tom.
right. Have a great evening and a great month. We'll see you next month, if not before.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.
Safe chat.
Good night. Great meeting.
Thank you.